Hi food friends, I'm Jennifer Crawford and welcome to My Queer Kitchen. I'm coming to you from very sunny Brooklyn, Nova Scotia, and today we're going to be making hot fudge sauce. My whole life, I thought hot fudge sauce was just melted chocolate and could never figure out what I was doing wrong at home. But the whole thing is, there's actually no actual chocolate in hot fudge sauce because that chocolate would seize up and get hard as soon as it touches the ice cream. That's more of the sort of, I don't know, cone dip, crackly chocolate shell that you get. And hot fudge sauce is ooey gooey specifically because it's made chocolatey from all the cocoa and then the sugar and the butter. We're gonna make hot fudge sauce. We're gonna put it on a bunch of ice cream that I bought from the store. And then I have, cherries, sprinkles, the huge, and a nice finish of big flaky salt. Okay, here I am going to take you on a tour of ingredients. Well, this is the final vessel because things taste better in fancy bowls. What we have here is, this is 1 3/4 cups of sugar, 1/4 cup of flour, 2/3 a cup of cocoa, 2 cups of really nice local milk, 4 tablespoons of butter, cherries, those are for at the end, and then 1/4 cup of molasses. I really like adding this bit of molasses to the hot fudge sauce because I feel like it adds this beautiful base note to everything, and also 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I do not have vanilla in because in my panic grocery store buying, I just saw vanilla beans were on sale and I got so excited. So I have 1/2 of a vanilla bean that I'm going to scrape and throw into our mix. And then also sprinkles, also for the very end. This is some really special salt from Tidal Salt. It's made here in Nova Scotia that I'm very excited to put on at the very end. So we're making hot fudge sauce. I'm going to get the pan to medium. Okay, while that's happening, this is my big bowl of dry ingredients, the cocoa and the flour and the sugar. And I'm just gonna give that a good whisk so it's all nice and even so that when we add the flour to the hot milk, it doesn't clump and it all comes together super, super nice. Oh my gosh. It smells so good already. Ah. What you're gonna do is take basically all of the wet ingredients and you're gonna bring that up to a nice bubble until all of the butter has melted. So going in, we have 2 cups of milk into the pan, reaching for the butter, 4 tablespoons of butter, also going into the pan. Hey, there we go. And finally, this last bit of, get this molasses in there. Just watching molasses is such a darn treat. Look at this go. So now this usually takes I don't know, a minute or 2, and you can use the same whisk. You're just gonna get that butter all incorporated in there as it melts. Get that molasses all in with the milk all nice. Oh my gosh, it smells like nanas right now. Once this comes up to temperature, I'm going to put in around 1/4 cup at a time of our sugar and cocoa mixture. I don't want to dump it in all at once because I don't want it to clump up. I'm going to be whisking so enthusiastically. It's going to be my cardio for the day. Probably for tomorrow also, honestly. You just want to keep it really vigorous so that way stuff doesn't get all bleh, blobby as you put it in. Also, if you don't like molasses, feel free to leave that stuff out. You can just add, you could substitute brown sugar, you could use just plain white sugar, you could do anything. You could add some cayenne, cinnamon, some mint. Chocolate has so many friends that you could get it to hang out with, and it's totally up to you and what you like. Okay, this is starting to look good. I just want it to be so that the surface of the milk is quivery with excitement. Not bubbling, boiling, but ooh, I can't wait for that cocoa and sugar stuff to get in here. Just a little wobbly. Okay, we're wobbling. Things are wobbling. There we go. Okay, it's around 1/4 cup. I'll stir for a bit. Get all of this incorporated. You want to whisk like heck. And until it's all in there and nice and smooth, there aren't any big dark chunks left before you add your next bit. So we're almost there. Okay, still wobbling. Oh my gosh, it smells awesome! There's something about like the molasses and the chocolate together that is so like, you did what? Why is that happening? But then you taste it and you're like, oh, that's why. Okay, this is a very high risk maneuver. Oh, whoa. Oh yeah. It's coming together now. It's getting so nice and thick. And what's happening is as we do this, the sugar grains are melting. They're not quite all the way melted yet, so it still looks a little grainy. That last cook-off that we do for the 5 straight minutes will melt everything and bring it all together so that it's nice and glossy and smooth. And you can see now the way it's bubbling. Like the bubbles kind of hang for a second, which show that it's starting to take on the texture that we want it to. I am now scraping a vanilla bean because I forgot to do that before I started. I don't know if you can see this. These are the seeds from half of a vanilla bean that I'm gonna whisk in there right now. If you have your 2 teaspoons of vanilla, you can add that in right now as well. And now we're just gonna let this hang for 5 minutes. It's bubbling like really nice. And you wanna bring the heat down a bit just to make sure it doesn't burn. It's starting to look nice and glossy, which means the sugar is melting so good. It's starting to cling to the sides of the pan and leave like little trails as I stir. I'm gonna grab the other camera to give you a POV. Now it's happening. See, this is the last 5 minutes, basically what you want going on. I'm gonna put the heat up one more thing. Like a nice, doesn't it like, it's like a chocolate hot spring that I 100% would take a little bath in. At this point, this is as thick as we want it, but I'm gonna let it go a minute or 2 more just to make sure all of the sugar is nice and dissolved. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat off. So you'll wanna let this cool almost completely, but I think it's nice to have a bit of warmth to it still. If it's too hot, like if I put it on right now, it basically turns into ice cream soup, which is also an amazing dish, by the way. It's ice cream sundae time. I'm totally like clashing patterns here because I know I have a Moon Mist shirt on and I'm eating Farmer's Bay of Fundy mudslide because I live super close to the Bay of Fundy. Also because it's chocolate and peanut butter, which are my favorite. They're such good friends. How much can I fit on here? I like to test the limits of, you know, everything. The order of operations now is gonna be hot fudge, sea salt, sprinks, cherries. Let's do it. Oh, this might have to come close. Oh my gosh. Can you see the chocolate rivers it is making? Yeah. This is some beautiful sea salt from here in Nova Scotia. I just love, I salt the heck out of my desserts and it changed my life and highly recommend everyone at least give it a shot. And now, obvious, classic, perfect choice, Oh, it's like a friggin' mudslide for real. Oh, that means I must have to put another one on top. I don't know. Everything that you want a hot fudge sauce to be: chocolatey, balance of bitter and sweet, the sweet, salty crunch of the sea salt, and the good crunch of the springs. Oh my gosh. I do have a bit of ice cream soup going on at the sides here, but I am not mad about it. Thank you so much for tuning Thanks so much for tuning in to my queer kitchen today and making a hot fudge sundae with me. Keep well, stay safe, and eat good snacks.